Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Kaiserreich. We're playing as the Socialist Republic of Italy. No. We're waiting for enough XP to get ideological loyalty for 500 weekly manpower, which will be useful in the short term. And in the long term, we'll get something else. Uh-oh. The Cambridge Conference. Along with politicians in London, a separate meeting of scientists from France and Britain took place in the old university in Cambridge. It was decided socialist countries should combine their research in order to develop a weapon capable of protecting the revolution from increasingly aggressive imperialist threat. Knowledge is power. You know, it isn't power. I'm standing around with my tanks while they're doing nothing. I will assist the French tanks. This is a dumb attack. I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to stand here like a jerk. The end of the Ninth Congress. The Ninth Congress of the Third International finally come to an end, rich in events and emotions, having reinforced, once again, the cohesion of the international socialist movement and set its course for an immediate future. It could only be called a success. The final vote of the delegates concerned the location of the next Congress. Though many cities were proposed, ultimately decided it would take place in London, the other great socialist capital. Many delegates came forward to deliver their final remarks and thank their comrades. When they came home, the delegates will have to grapple with the consequences of one of the greatest events since the revolution. Certainly an opportunity for decisive actions. Before that, ceremonies organized to properly send them off. On the Montmartre Hill, birthplace of the 1871 Commune de Paris, great performance of the public was given, showcasing the best French artists, regional costumes and traditions, as well as athletic feats and technological innovations. It was followed by an events banquet of dishes from all around the commune for many delegates, which lasted well into the nights. Of course, the guests concluded this experience in joyful socialist unity the only way it could have, by proudly singing the Internationale. Tomorrow, the Internationale will be the human race. Well, you know, if everything works out. We'll see. It's not working out for China right now, but, you know. Listen, we wouldn't be socialists if we gave up when the going got tough. If at first you don't succeed, try, and then try again. For in the end, they can beat you 100 times. You only have to beat them once. At least, that's what we like to tell ourselves. Boy, the situation is not good. We're kind of getting mighty pasted. Failed coup in Beijing. Details are unclear about following presumed coup attempt in the Forbidden City. This morning, Marshal Wu Peifu emerged. Arm in a sling, but otherwise standing tall. Walking down the stairs, he stopped for a few words with reporters who rushed to the scene as Puyi, bound and guarded by a group of soldiers, shuffled out. Cao Kun, the democratically elected leader of China, and I were savagely attacked by the emperor's thugs. No doubt supported by outside powers, he began, staring directly into the camera bulbs flashing his face. It is clear these opposition elements wish to undo the progress we've made. And after their betrayal today, the assemblies declared them traitors. China will be a republic once more, free from foreign domination. Return of the republic? Zounds. Anyways, I'm going to withdraw these tanks, because clearly they're doing absolutely nothing useful besides wasting my tanks. Okay. Escalation of the Harlan County War. Since the beginning of the decade, Harlan County, Kentucky has been embroiled in conflict. The IWW and other unions have attempted to organize the miners of the country, facing steep and oftentimes armed resistance from local authorities and company forces. This week, fighting in the county has escalated as the Union militia seized control of much of the town of Harlan, east of the Cumberland River. Anti-Union forces have retreated in the town's National Guard depot. Though the Unionists have not fully captured the the escalation fighting, which has left dozens dead in the past month, is reminiscent of the brutal Mingo County War of 1923, and has already resulted in unrest across the United States. America's workers are beginning to stand up. Do you want to finish that retreat, or, like, anytime now? Alright, we're going to withdraw our forces. No. Recall volunteers. How we doing? Yeah, they have not suffered the long-term negative debuff. I'm going to probably reinvest with Mountaineers, which are a little bit more my speciality, as the Italianos. But, it's a matter of time. Okay. Rise in revolutionary fervor. Through the last few weeks, a sense of dedication to the revolution seems to have descended upon Italian society. We are not sure exactly how this happened, but in spite of localized bouts of anti-bureaucratic sentiments, this is clearly caused the general rise in support for the institutions of the Socialist Republic. As Italy wakes to a new morning, many in the country are more than willing to do their utmost to secure justice and freedom, and they know this can only be achieved through us. What remains unanswered, however, is this public sentiment is going to go down in the political arena. The presidency can benefit from this. It was the unions that built this revolution. So the question is, how is this going to work? There is a parliamentary balance. Parliamentary balance will give us a new parliamentarian government. Empowered presidency will give us a new presidentialist government. And trade union senate will give us a new syndicalist government. Maybe we go parliamentarist? So the presidency can benefit from this? New parliamentarist parliamentarist government. With the conflict between the unions and presidency taking a heavy toll on both sides, it appears neither of the two is now strong enough to sustain a government. The only option for a workable executive ended up being the actionists. In spite of the heavy mutual distrust between Rosselli and Mussolini, constant fascist attacks and union criticism, the president was eventually forced to appoint Rosselli as prime minister. How long such an executive formed out of a lack of united opposition rather than actual majority may last remains to be seen. Good luck, Rosselli. Oh, nice. We're getting increased weekly stability. That's kind of nice, though that's really not much. 35 is what I need. And remember, if it lead, it bleed. Oh, and since we're not using fuel for much, we can, like, do stuff like that. There you go. Our boys are back in town. And, okay, at least they gained some XP. How many boys are in Division Alpina versus infantry? Yeah, they're smaller. That's fine. That's fine. Oh boy. Prince Sabahdin appointed Grand Vizier. Seemingly unable to execute his plans despite the electoral victory in 1935, former Grand Vizier Mustafa Kemal submitted his resignation to the Ottoman Caliph only a few months ago. Boldly pushing through his progressive agenda against some more liberally minded OHF members, it seems the former general miscalculated gravely as his party suddenly split beneath him. The Liberal coalition, defeated in 1935, has only cemented its power and looks to arrange a workable government majority in this sudden turnaround. Following his electoral victory, Prince Sabahdin, supporter of the HIF, was appointed earlier today by the Caliph, promising to fulfill his agenda of decentralization and promoting private initiative. Good luck, except we're syndicalists, so we hate those things. Why do we have no manpower? Deal with the FMC. That's probably why. Enrico Cavilga. Who is Enrico Cavilga? Not this guy. Not this guy. Anyways. It don't matter nothing at all. Italian techniques don't do anything. Alright. We cannot yet begin Risorgimento. So we're going to renew the Ricostruzione Industriale, prepare to bring the revolution to the rest of the peninsula, to expand our industrial base in order to counteract foreign investment in breakaway states. The government will take an active approach in this reconstruction. Very well. We almost have enough money. Our boys are here. Commandi at Earth's End. Yeah, Duca will do. Let's, mountain. Alright, we're gonna go here. We got basic machine tools. We got enough for, ideological loyalty. Boom. Look at that. We're going to gain 500 weekly manpower, which is a lot of manpower to gain. Now, we'll gain more if we go to, like, extensive conscription. But it is still nice to get 500 manpower. It's good for nearly every country that isn't, like, Russia or, like, I guess France and Britain don't really need it. Should we get dispersed industry? Always. Is that optimal anymore? No, but it was like 5 years ago when I learned that it was good. You should always take dispersed industry in 2021 or whatever. Anyways, we're getting our butt kicked. Ay ay ay. Let's cut the speed a little. Okay. Can't repress Butin. Giovanni Duca can give us some stuff. Do we want to, like, wait? More special forces cap is probably good, right? I don't know, man. Better infantry is better infantry. I could always go for more infantry. Let's get better infantry. Do we want to wait? Do we want to get, like, an industrial thingy? I don't know. Steelwork seems pretty good. Plus 12 steel. You know what? Let's... Oh, no. What we need to do is go for, like, I don't know. Stability, political power, whatever. That seems a lot better. How our situation? Well, I guess we're gonna wage protracted war. Oh well.
Pronto all'azione. Fuoco nemico.
Uh-oh.
Arretrate.
I think holding that there is probably fine. Not a front line I am terribly invested in. I'll be completely honest. I don't really think it's gonna matter at all in any way. Alright. Are these guys ever gonna gain XP? I don't know. The answer appears to be no. It doesn't say it, but they don't gain XP from, They don't gain XP from, if they don't have fuel. So I'm just, like, wasting everything. Oh, well. Anyways, we're holding the line. At least for now. Though I'm not super confident that the situation is going to develop in our favor. Though again, we will see. There we go. Oh boy. Right, we want the research slot. We already own most of Italy's industrial base, but we lack an international support. We can make up for it with an innovation. Brightest minds of the peninsula, of the world even, work for our government, will help the revolution. So, more research speed. Go us. I mean, we can just hold this for kind of indefinitely. I'm fine with that. Yeah, it doesn't say no training experience gained for no fuel with the, Right. This battle is rapidly becoming irrelevant. So we should seek to withdraw. Nanping is hills. I think we want to probably hang out here. Okay. The Phalansterie International Research Organization. As time has passed, it quickly became apparent that the global revolution requires far more than just devotion to the cause. With France and Britain being the only highly developed socialist countries in the world, it's become widely accepted they should launch a long-term research aid program for other countries, and thus has begun the so-called Philanthropy International Research Organization, a branch of the Philanthropy International Program, and providing technological support for socialist countries all around the world. The question is now whether we should join that endeavor. Participation sounds good. Why do we get a choice? I mean, we don't, but why are we pretending like we get a choice? Do you want a good thing or a bad thing? Stares directly at camera. Interesting. Anyways.
Attento. Avanzate.
We should probably go hang out in Nanping. We got construction. We should probably get better guns. Less than an ideal situation, but, you know. We gotta hold the line. The Philanthropy International Industrial Program. It's become apparent to many in the international that the responsibility of all sufficiently developed syndicalist nations to provide industrial support for those nations less able to provide for themselves. The choice is now upon us to decide whether we should stand in solidarity with workers around the world by helping them implement a massive program of industrial aid alongside our French brothers in arms. It sounds like a great idea. I mean, yeah.
Preparatevi.
All right. War in Siam. I'm gonna have to pull
Mantenete le
back.
distanze.
Hold this sort of corner pocket. All right. Yay.
Pronto.
I probably want to wait to attack. Right? Now might be a good time. There we go. Germany staged declared war in Indochina. 1936 Dublin Olympics, the 11th Olympic Games, were held in Dublin, Ireland. Showcasing the capital of the young republic, the games proven a large source of pride for her. Once again, French and British delegates have been absent, the syndicalist power unrecognized by the International Olympic Committee and the exile governments, lacking men to send. German and American athletes have seen the most success, closely tied with 27 and 26 medals, while Irish athletes have performed above average, winning 9 medals. Elitist nonsense. I should probably send some volunteers to Indochina. That seems smart.
Ordini.
I'll send an Alpine division. Indochina declares independence. After the Weltkrieg, Germany seized French Indochina, but stability wasn't restored until Germany crushed the South China revolutionaries in 1926. Now, Indochinese revolutionaries and leftists under a coalition government called the Viet Minh have risen up against the colonial regime. Nguyen Ninh, the head of the Viet Minh, declared the independence of Indochina. After a salute to the Internationale and World Revolution, he condemned the brutal German oppression of the working class and affirmed the Indochinese workers' commitment to anti-imperialism and the liberation of colonial people. Observers agree with German media that they are just some weak peasants, and the German garrison, or even police, could easily suppress the Viet Minh. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. This is a new image, I think. Maybe. Zevno coup in Bulgaria. The Tsardom of Bulgaria, one of Germany's ally in the Weltkrieg, has been seen as a stable hegemon of the Balkans for the past 2 decades. In truth, however, the nation has withdrawn to internal affairs, going from political crisis to political crisis, and this year, these international tensions have culminated in a showdown between 3 separate political forces. Zevno has come out on top, sweeping away the Tarnovo constitution with a sudden coup d'etat. This elitist circle of officers and intellectuals promises to establish a rational, efficient autocratic system to guide Bulgaria in the following years. Interesting turn of events. We fostered innovation. Let's expand the Turin Polytechnic Institute. With Milan in foreign hands, Turin has been the base of operations for our scientists and engineers in the last decade. As the livelihood of the Republic depends on them, we shall grant them whatever support they may need. Yeah, I think Milan is like the capital of the Italian Republic. So, you know. I should probably start training more guys. There we go. More boys. Ascend into foreign wars. I should also spend my command power and stuff. Like organization? Or maybe being a combined arms expert? Or maybe this guy? No, can't. Maybe boat guys? Blockade runner, concealment expert. This guy I put in charge of the main naval squadron. So, probably should be, I don't know. Concealment expert. Smokescreen specialist? Lone wolf might be better, but I don't know how much it matters. This is my sublord, so go Lancer. Go. For Lancer, we probably want loading drill. And then we're out. Okay, great. We're out of command power. Love to see it. And as is tradition, I'm going to be hanging out in Saigon. And preventing these guys from getting back capped. The unfulfilled import requests. Oh, stand by. I will ask for rubber from Indochina. There we go. I'm gonna wait for my full power level to be restored. This is a brutal war. Okay. Conservatives topple Baltic government. Breaking news from Riga. Friedrich von Samson Himmelstjerne has been forced out as United Baltic Duchy's premier after a months-long conservative campaign to unseat him. His ouster is the climax of a protracted standoff that sees the government largely paralyzed by the opposition. However, the duchy's political system only largely neutral Duke Adolf Friedrich can actually remove the government, leading to a protracted war of attrition between the two camps. As of now, the conservative knighthoods and the Baltic German ability have reasserted control of the duchy. They're expected to abandon liberal reform plans and push for harsher strategy against the forest predators still fighting in the Baltic countryside. And somehow, the duchy finds a way to march further backwards. And you can hang out in Saigon. I don't know. This guy can be in charge. How's this battle going? Not great. Not terrible. We gaining XP? We are. Love to see it. Okay. Okay. Increased black shirt militancy. Lately, the black shirts have increased their range of operations, launching attacks against supposed subversives and anti-revolutionaries with the clear intent of containing the power of the trade unions. They're supported by the presidency from behind the scenes. Public security is unlikely to intervene against them. However, it appears union leadership is organizing proletarian defense groups, which we may sponsor. This would effectively neuter the black shirt offensive, but would be a bloody affair. There's nothing we can do. Versus we can fight fire with fire. I would say there's nothing we can do. Though now we're going to probably have to start fighting for the trade unions. Let's attack these guys. Seems like we're about to win here. We can move to the right. Which I guess technically we're also doing politically speaking. Though exactly what counts as right and left is, you know. Failed army coup in Tokyo. Shocking news from Japan. Today, radical elements of the imperial military led by ultra-monarchists and nationalists launch an attempted push against the ailing democratic government in Tokyo. Despite seizing control of key government apparatus and buildings across the capital, the emperor explicitly refused to support the faction, which led to the coup's almost inevitable collapse within hours. A number of senior army officials and their supporters have committed ritual suicide and shame, a key linchpin of democracy has been preserved in East Asia, at least for now. Japanese democracy survives. Though you wouldn't like it. Can I attack here? We're gonna retain the commanding heights. I'm surprised. Our sort of recovery was shockingly decent. With the failure to fortify the Mingan zone is problematic. Belgian Declaration of Independence. Sick of German oppression and the disaster of Black Monday, Belgian independence movements throughout the country have been revolting and performing guerrilla strikes on the German army. Due to their own recovery, the German Empire has been able to support Adalbert I to the fullest and has let the situation escalate beyond their control. After coordinated strikes by the Independence Army and the cities of Mons and Antwerp, they were finally able to push the German army back to Brussels, where after fierce fighting, the German king surrendered. With no clear answer yet from the German Empire, many fear that independent Belgium might be short-lived, considering the tensions between the Empire and the Commune of France rising and the strategic location of the country, simple change of leadership, or the dawn of revolution. We'll have to wait and see. This guy's gonna wait and just hang out in Saigon. These guys are probably gonna attack somewhere, but like I don't really know. I'm not sure if I'm feeling launching attacks here. Give it a try. Nope, didn't work. We can get bold attack. Do we want anything other than bold attack? I mean, division experience gain is like pretty swag, actually. I don't know, man, but like 50% chance of +1 attack. You know, that's like that adds up. And then I will get a Grand Doctrine. Which Grand Doctrine should I get? I don't know. Grand Battle Plan. Superior Firepower. Or Grand Battle Plan. Not Mass Assault, not Mobile Warfare. Am I a superior firepower guy? I might be a superior firepower guy, though it is buffing artillery, which is currently not very good. You know, I think I'm just gonna go Grand Battle Plan. Planning is nice. It's a nice little bonus, as they say. Nice little pernus. It was a very Civil War-y type situation that we're in. Where are we? Marines. Rangers? Dude, do I care about Rangers? I guess. Let me check the map. Terrain. Okay. That didn't do anything. Terrain? Mountain. Hills, plains, urban, mountain, hills, mountain, hills, plains. Yeah, I don't think that, like, there's no forest to fight in. It's all mountains or plains. So, like, there's some forest here. But I don't want to fight here. I want to fight in Italy. Alright, so we're definitely not getting Rangers. So what are we getting? Better artillery, recon company, radio. We should get radio. At some point we need radio, so we might as well get it now. Alright, with that, I'm going to see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.